es raro encontrarte tanto en un sitio tan reducido. O sea, para mí sí tiene imán, tiene algo especial.
Esto es como un trapecista. Cuando cambias de profesión, de trabajo, de estilo de vida, como hemos hecho nosotros, hay un momento que estás pendiente de un hilo en la nada.
Esto es una suerte, poder estar aquí y elegir, que ha sido algo elegido, que yo creo que eso es lo más maravilloso que he podido hacer. No he disfrutado la vida, ahora estoy empezando a disfrutar realmente.
Ya necesito como más vivir más para adentro, ser consciente de uno, ¿no?
I was always dreaming to change my life, but I didn't know how. I was living the life that I always had lived and following the momentum.
Tú puedes ir diseñando tu vida, pero la vida también te va a ir llevando por donde ella quiera. Lo que sí que está en tu mano es cómo vives tú esa otra parte que no está en tus manos.
Y no decidir también es tomar una decisión.
Okay.
How are you?
Good. Thank you.
I'm sorry, apologize me, because I think that you were talking about Spain hours. So no worry.
No, don't worry. My mom wants to go back to Italy real bad, so maybe there's something in the way my soul is speaking that I'm already in Europe again.
So you are from Europe. Your mother is from Europe.
Yeah, my mom and my father are from Sicily. I was born here, first generation. Yeah.
Oh, what a nice place. Sicily is. Oof.
It reminded me, I told my mom, I'm like, Mommy, you have to watch these films because the people, the lifestyle, the more so in the summer months that you captured, the warmer months that you captured, it looks like Sicily, if you ask me as well.
It is a bit like this. It's different, but it's the same way of life. Something, because we are also a bit like Sicily in Italy is a bit like more slow. We are also more slower than the rest of Spain. It's something, it could be. I've never thought about it, but it could be.
Yeah. So maybe that's your next movie. I'll get myself over to.
I would be glad to go to Sicily. I've been one summer. And was incredible. I love. I don't know if you know the Lipari, the Aeolian Islands.
I've heard of them. I haven't gone there yet, though.
Don't forget this because it's incredible. You know, it's where we have been Il Postino filmed. You know the film Il Postino.
Yes.
It's incredible. It's a way. Incredible. I want to go back. Whenever I can, because it's a very, very nice place. It's fantastic. So don't forget it, because I would love to film in Sicily, but not now.
Anything is possible. That's what I believe.
Yeah. That's true.
Yes. So I like this little bit. I might leave this in, but just to introduce yourself officially for the interview and for our audience. Take it away.
Okay, and sorry about my English, because my English is more or less, but I hope if you think that I'm not that people is not going to understand, please let me know, because I can repeat in another way.
Okay.
Because I make some mistakes, but I will try to do it. So I am Alicia Van Assche. I'm a documentary filmmaker. And I'm related with wine and gastronomy, a bit specialized in land products, and land development. So the last work we have done is Where Life Can Truly Be, sorry, which is a film about living life slowly. In a different way. Just enjoying life and living life, looking at and having and tasting everything. No, something like this is just take a while and just look outside and live a life how you must or you're supposed to do it. No, is a documentary, a feature about 7 something minutes in El Bierzo, in a very small place in the north west of Spain, next to Galicia, and where people has changed their lives to try to enjoy life. For example, a couple who has come from New York, from Los Angeles, before New York, who are just enjoying to Camino de Santiago and to make some pizzas to people and to talk with people. Then there is Susie, one of the best florists of Australia, who has stopped in Bierzo also to live her love with Fermin and having a hotel, and then some different stories. I don't want to talk you about all the stories.
Yes.
But some different stories about learning about enjoying life. And in my personal story, I'm related also to the documentary, to the story, because I used to work on the news on TV, and I used to be in Madrid. I was born in Madrid, but I met my husband, who is related with wine. He had a winery here in El Bierzo, so he asked me to come here and make my life here doing documentaries. So I came here to a very, very small place. I mean, it's like a little Tuscany. It's a very, very nice place and very small. And so I jumped and I started this new life to have documentary companies like 20 years ago. And now I have 3 girls. Maybe because now I am at home, and so maybe you are going to find some people who is watching, but I don't know. But I have 3 girls, and I'm happy here. It has been a very, very long way because it's difficult to make films from here, but I enjoy life also.
There's a lot there. First of all, both documentaries that you submitted are just beautiful. Like, I can see like people, like, even if like, so you have English subtitles, but even if they don't care about the story, let's say, which the story is intriguing, but just the landscapes that you've captured, it's offering people something they rarely see. Like you said, it's a little Tuscany, beautiful mountains, so I thank you for that, because it's so picturesque. So that part alone, must just be so inspiring to you.
It is,
so I just think that, so congratulate you on that and how you captured it all.
I will say to my colleague Oscar, who is the photographer, I will say to him, but it's true that it's very inspiring. I mean, and at least it's a way to bring our land to people, because it's a land, as we were talking about like Sicily, a bit like not very developed. There are not. Is a land which before has a lot of mines of gold and cork. The name is cork.
Quartz. Yes.
Mines. This mineral, black mineral. I don't know the name. Has a lot of mines, and now all this has disappeared. So there is not industry. It's just land and people with a small. Small companies and very not poor but a bit poor. I mean, it's getting down. So for us, just help our land to know people that there is a little corner here in Spain that must be visit and known. For us, it's just fantastic, because people can come here and discover Bierzo, which is a very nice discover.
Yes, it's almost like a tourism pull,
and there is anything there is not tourist at all, just there is some Caminos workers of the way, workers from the way, just this because there is not a tourist industry, so it's a really raw land. It's very, very interesting because it's very unique.
Yes, yes. No, it just too, like a lot of things strike me too about your journey. Like, first of all, the courage, to leave a life behind in Madrid, which seems very like secure, what your 9 to 5 is. So like, how was that? Was your first step? Was it just like, oh, I love this person so much, I must do everything to be with them? Was it just like, I like the whole package of, this is offering something different than what I know? Just if you delve a little bit more into that for us.
Okay, the story was that I went to study to Cuba, to the film school, and the film of school of Cuba. It's called in Spanish the La Habana Film School. Is a very, very nice school with a very nice teachers, but it's very poor. So you are there just living life around filmmaking and nothing more. So this summer makes me think a lot what I was wondering, what I need or what I wanted to my life, because it was like being alone, isolated. I was not isolated, of course. I was with plenty of people, but was a really nice exercise of mind exercise. You were like a bit isolated, 1 hour and a half from La Habana, sometimes a lot of times without light. I mean, it was not a very rich experience. It was a very like close experience. So I was thinking a lot about working on documentaries, because at news I couldn't be deep in some stories. I couldn't. Even if I was working in a story for 4 days, after I had 1 minute and a half. So I was not happy about this. So I was wondering about having and forming and studying about documentaries. And when I came back from Cuba, Alejandro asked me to have my life here in El Bierzo. So I was in this moment, okay, why not? Of course, and I'm going to go. Yes, this is my dream. Then this year I continue in Madrid, working to earn some money to make my company. And this year was a bit hard because I was afraid. I mean, what I'm going to do there. I don't have friends here because I was in this village where my grandparents came. Were born like lots of years ago. My friends were not there because here a lot of people go out to study and leave the Bierzo because there is not work. So I was like, I'm going just doing a normal life. So what I'm going to do, but I was talking a lot this year, but I was thinking that, okay, I'm going to try, and if I don't have success, if I'm not happy, I will come back. I mean, I didn't want to not try. I was really convinced that I must try at least. Of course, I love him a lot, but was not just him. It's something about me also, about trying to do something that you want to do. So that's the story.
I think you touched on so much there. I don't think a lot of people realize that of filmmakers. I mean, I know you were saying the school in Cuba was, wasn't like, this illustrious, studio with like, Spike Lee as the teacher, you know what I mean? But I don't think a lot of people, when they're going into the mindset of, oh, I'm going to make films, I want to make films professionally, I think they miss the isolation that comes along with it. I think, a lot of people, and not in a mean way, it's not something that the light is shown on all the time. We see all the red carpet and the parties and the glamorous side of it. but people don't see the waking up at the 3 a.m. to get the set, the, years that can take someone to write a screenplay or to get the perfect cast or to
Very
get
hard.
the
Yeah.
right. So that I think that's great. And that's something important for people to know, that you brought up, that, a filmmaker's life can be very isolating. So, thank you for bringing that up. And also, too, what came out of watching your work for me was, I thought, a lot of the pandemic and how that's kind of rearranged people's mindset a bit, right? And how it's brought, again, that, some isolation and really focusing on what community means. Like, I think that came out really well with the people with the pizzeria owners. Like, I just want to do this on the weekends. I'm not doing it to, make
Not
a
for
ton of
money. Yeah.
yeah, like, I feel like it really was a wake-up call for everybody to say, like, okay, is the rat race and everything, like, knowing that, God forbid, in 2 months, everything.
Yes, is that true? I know how here in Europe they say that we call the great how do you say in English? I mean, that means that a lot of people abandon their job. I mean, the normal job. The great in Spanish they la gran dimisión. That means that there is a lot of people that were. I mean, in 2 months you were without working like a hamster or a rat.
Yes.
And finally you say, okay, I can live with less, and I want to live in another way of life. I don't want to be all time working like hell and working just to earn a lot of money and then spend this money in some therapies to be more relaxed. It's true that.
I want to work to give money to my therapist. My therapist.
Yeah, that's true. Finally, it's a bit like this. I mean, and we are all on this stuff because finally you never stop. And it's true that, for example, Susie, the Australian woman who is a very, very nice girl, she told me that once per day they find someone and they say to them, I want to quit my job. I want to do what you have done once per day, which is a lot. I mean, to say, and they say also, okay, just do it. But I mean, people is afraid. They have some fear. It's normal that you have some fear, but it's true that everybody can do it.
Yeah. No. I believe there's also such a spiritual factor too into your work. At least, again, this is what one person takes from it, right? But just like, yeah, where do you start, stop, rather, depending on the world, and, rather depend on God. Like, okay, like every day can be something new versus, again, 9 to 5, everything is homogenized. I'm expected to make this much money. I'm expected to have these many possessions, so I really felt that, just like the spirituality in it, the sense of community in your work, right? With salt and pepper seeds, it was great.
Yeah, of course, because I was talking about all time about where life can truly be. Yeah, of course, is a very, because salt and pepper seeds is a story about community. It's true. I mean, I agree with you, because that's true. That's the story about just 5 women which are very, very courageous. You say courageous?
Mm-hmm. Yes, courageous.
That they have, and they have lived lots of story and lots of bad moments, but still take care and still continue with their jobs. And it's true that there is a community, but with a lot of place. I mean, with a big place. I mean, they are both of them like 3 hours or 4 hours from the other, but they feel together. I mean, they when they stay together, they feel like like they are friends from the whole life. They can cry, they can be, I mean, because for example, Spanish people is not so open. I mean, they are open, but it's not so easy that people can cry in front of a person that you don't know at all. And you know, in this moment of this filmation, for example, we were with a very, very strong connection between all of them. We were like all of us like crying, like, you know, I don't know the name when you have, you know, your
Goosebumps.
How do you say?
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
In Spanish we say hen skin.
Yeah.
So we have piel de gallina.
Y ver a una mujer en el campo chirría y como que molesta bastante.
Me gustaría abrir una puerta, entrar en un sitio, cerrarle y que el mundo siga, pero yo parar.
Dices, ostras, es que eres campeona de Europa, pero estás sola.
A mí cada persona que prueba mi fruta o mi mermelada se me ilumina la cara porque son parte de mi proyecto de vida.
I like to find a place that it fits me to live, to grow up, to play, to feel good. I feel good because this place gave me a lot of freedom.
We were like really connected because these strong women are really spiritual people, and I don't know if the name is spiritual people, but they are really strong people. Not in the way that they are hard. It's just that they can continue and believe in their project and work and don't stop even if they have bad moments. They're very, very strong women and with a lot of power. I think that they're powerful women.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, you said it correctly, like how much time their artistry takes, right? And how they can work together. You do need a lot of inner strength for something like that. Yeah. I was wondering, how did you find these people? Or did they kind of find you? What was that process like, right? Because it's very focused on, you know, these distinct individuals, your work. So is there like a criteria in your mind that you set out before you?
Yeah, normally when I believe in a story that I want to talk about, and I was looking for people who believe in the land, no, in small projects, and so I find one of them. That's Natalia, the one of the blueberries, no?
Yes.
Blueberries. Yes. But and then I continue like searching and study and doing research about which some prices about rural women, and I've done the research with so many. But what I want to, because first of all was not woman, where I was just focused because I felt it. I mean, when you do a documentary, for at least me, I need to be connected. I mean, I have the first idea, I start the research, but sometimes, and normally it happens, documentary, the story moves you. I mean, you change your story. The first idea was not 5 women together talking about their projects. No, the first idea was some different rural projects in another place. But it changed because I started to know them and to choose the people that makes me believe in them. And then the documentary was like changing. You know, it's like, I think it's like, I have never wrote a novel, but I think it's like when a character moves you. I mean, goes alone and you go behind him, no, behind them. That's a bit the same. I mean, you know the characters, and then you know, I believe in this story, and that connected with this and with the. I mean, it's not like a formal thing. It's like the documentary is making you story. It's something like this. I don't know if you understand me.
Oh, yeah, no, completely. Like, you started out with one vision, but just because of the subjects you came across, it caused you to shift, and you found, you know, something else. Yeah, I believe, I believe in a lot of artistic endeavors. It happens that way, right?
And sometimes some strange thing happens to you, and you're in a gas station and you find just for example, a car, and say, okay, what is this? And I mean, it's like science. I mean, I don't know if the name is science, but I mean, they talk me about this, Natalia taught me another one, and then I know the story, and I do some research. And then with the research done, I know the way, no, I follow the way, something like this.
Right. Yeah, no, beautifully done. Both of your documentaries that you submitted. Yeah, I was so grateful. It really, truly gives a glimpse into these people's lives, into your area. I thought it was really cool too. I wanted to ask because my background was in rock journalism before I started this. Was it easy to find like you have the Foo Fighters featured
So you were connected at all?
Yeah. I was connected in several ways, right? It looks like Sicily, where my parents are from, and then the rock connection. Was it easy? Like, did they just give you that footage and we're okay with just like, here it is for your documentary? Like, because I think people have these questions sometimes too, like aspiring documentarians, right? Of, like, oh, do we, permits and all that.
I mean, with documentaries, I think is a different thing. With it's not a normal feature. I mean, with documentaries, you are never going to be rich. I mean, it's not a thing that you do by money. I mean, for earn money, because it's not true. I mean, you're maybe sugar man or something like this, but it's not my case. I mean, I'm not going never to. I know that with documentaries, you're not going to be rich. So people with documentaries are different. I mean, with the story of Foo Fighters, was David is a close friend of them, and say you can use it. I mean, it's like this. I mean, it's not because they know that we are not going to be on cinemas and having a big production. I mean, it's just something like that you do because you believe in this. It's not it's like a thing that you do because you love your land, something like this. So it's a thing about, I mean, just take these images and no problem. So it's not like if you take a song of Sony and you have to have some permission. No, it's a difference, like more independent. So it's not so formal. I mean, if the documentaries has to be, we are not in the same league. I mean, it's like be on. I mean, like in a little small sport and do the comparison with for example, I know, baseball or soccer. I mean, we are like very, very small, like a little insect. So just trying to make our land develop. So it's like a different thing.
But it's very well done. You are in the league of bigger productions because brilliantly.
We try.
Brilliantly done.
I think it's very well done because it's done with love. Amen. And I think it's a thing of quality. But I know that we are not in the Champions League. But I'm happy with this also.
Yeah. I wonder, how long did it take you to put together each documentary, or if you'd rather focus on one?
Normally, more or less. Normally is like 2 years and 1 year, something like this, because it's not like 1 year and we finish one and then we start with the other. No, it's like some stories I knew them before, so at the end I think like 3 years and a half or something like this, both of them. I mean, something like this, yes, something like this. I mean, for example, our first documentary take us 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a documentary about deaf people living in a small villages, and was very difficult because we have to learn sign languages.
Wow.
It was very difficult. Like, it was the first one, but this one was easier, easier. I mean, because we know some stories, we are next to the places, so we can film and be a bit spontaneous, and was different. But yeah, 3 hours, 3 years and a half or 4, like this, something like this.
Because I think that's fascinating. Where could people find this documentary as well? I think people would. I think that's brilliant. Deaf people in rural areas.
Yeah, it was, this story, but this story was very, very strong. Was our first story, and it still works for people around some universities of Europe that try that the teachers of the university show this documentary to make students understand what about deaf people world. So sometimes we have an email of a student. I wasn't on class and I need to see your documentary, but I cannot find anybody pays us anybody. but even if we don't earn anything about this, we know that we still make something for deaf people, which is was very strong. Because, for example, in this documentary, there was a girl who was 40 years old at this moment. Now is 50 something, and she has been 20 years in deaf school, talking with hands. And after 20 years, the school was end, and she came back to their parents' home. But their parents didn't understand her and didn't talk anything. So she was like having a cow at home. I mean, just talking like she was. I mean, like if you have a Chinese guy and a Russian guy. I mean, without communication. And
Right.
she went first time when I met her. I was with her old friends from school. We went there with her old friends, and she was acting as she had a mind disability, but was not like this.
Wow.
She has been 20 years without talking with anyone. I mean, talking, not just shouting and saying, we have to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, just talking. So at first we were filming, and she was like, without understand anything. And after 1 minute, she started to talk, and she was like, she very, very quick, because she was like, and she told us that she was like a dog. I mean, not like a dog. A dog lives better than her. I mean, like a cow in the garage. I mean, she was just like abandoned. I mean, and it was not because their parents were very mad people. No, it was because they didn't understand that she is just deaf. I mean, just a woman who is deaf, and you have to learn the sign languages to talk with her. But it was a very, very strong documentary. And finally, for example, with this documentary, this girl, she had a brother, and when the brother saw the documentary, at first he was very mad. He was very upset because it was a documentary with her family. But then he changed his mind, and he take his sister with him, and the documentary makes him understand what's the problem of his sister. Sorry
That's
about that
beautiful.
English.
Oh no, I understood. That was beautiful. After watching the documentary, the brother took her home with him. That's beautiful because he understood. Yeah. Goes back all the way full circle. See, you had only 1 minute with the news story that you studied for days, and here you could do the opposite, make such an impression with your art form that it changes somebody's life.
Yeah, and of course, and we still do it because documentary is there. I mean, it's from 2006, and it's there and continues in some school and deaf schools and schools about communication and filmmaking school that we have an email. Please send me the documentary. I have not been at class, but it's nice that still makes people think about the deaf world. It's very nice.
Wow. Oh, thank you.
I can send to you, or I can send you if you want. I mean, is film. I mean, the quality is HDV. You say HDV? HDV.
HD, high definition. High definition. Yes. Yeah.
I mean,
HD, yes.
It has some years, but it's very interesting because you see how people how isolated you are when you are deaf. I mean, it's really don't be with communication is very, very hard. I mean, it's even harder for me than being blind because you are really isolated.
Wow, that's powerful. Yeah, I'd love to see it. Yeah,
wow. It's very nice. It's very nice. And there is a very nice story about love of two blind deaf people, a couple who was really incredible. I can send you if you want because it's very, very nice. It's very you get like, oh my God, how can these people can be so happy with so many problems and so many difficulties and they are very, very happy.
Wow. Yeah. That's beautiful.
You, but I mean, it's from 2006. You see that is an old work, but it's nice. It's a classic.
Yes. No, that's what I always think about. Like, movies like Casablanca were made with cameras that are less powerful, right, than the ones we're walking around with in our pockets, right? So, I mean, yeah, it's all about the story and how it's done, not the equipment, right?
True. Yeah, that's true. You know, the first festival when I came here, we went with a festival, a very nice festival in Spain, and we were with a little story, very, very wrong filmmaker with the music, which was my brother playing the piano. I was really ashamed. I mean, we are there, and after when they do what they have done. We were really, really amazed that we were selected in this festival. But then when people saw this documentary, it was a documentary, a short one. Everybody was talking about this documentary, even it was a very amateur, technical. But it's true that in this documentary, for example, the story was so strong that everybody, doesn't care. Even if you film with your cell phone, sometimes the story is so strong that is okay. You can do it if the story is very nice. And this story was a very small story about a woman, but everybody was talking about, and we have next to us big documentaries in Amazonas or in very big companies, and we were with our little short film. But it's true that if people is moved, that works. Even if then maybe you cannot find a TV or a broadcast that is going to show your job, but in festivals you see that people is moved by the stories.
Yes. Beautifully. Well said. Yes, as long as the story touches us. Yes. I want to thank you. I think that's a great place to leave off.
It was very nice to know you and to be part of your festival and of your heart. And I hope that you are going to Sicily and to Bierzo to know us, because it's different also. It's very nice in the film, but if you come here, it's different taking a black glass of wine.
I'd love to. Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
no, that
you're
sounds
invited.
beautiful. Oh, thank you.
Of course.
You. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you.
Oh, but you know that you are here. You have your home. So please come if you come to Europe, and I can do you a bit guide. I can do you a little tour. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. And if you come to Sicily or New York as well.
Okay. Of course. Yeah. Nice to meet you. And give pleasure. A big hug to people from festival and to your audience. Okay.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we appreciate you and hug you right back.
Okay. I will give to my team.
Yes.
Okay. So nice to meet you.
Yes.
Sword fight, king of the hill.